Good morning at 6:03. Robert and Erin, 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. Once again today, lots of local news. Once again today, Erin has it all.
Once again today, more violence in Cedar Grove. We'll talk about that. The MPC takes a big vote on a big-time development, and teachers could get paid to go to college.
I'm going to let you handle this one today.
Okay.
I'm going to let you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
About this email chain.
Oh, boy.
Among Shreveport City Council members.
Wow.
Word.
Holy cannolis.
Maybe we can lose it between now and 6:10.
No.
Fletcher Sports, traffic and weather, it's all coming up this hour, and it's here on KEEL.
The power of information. KEEL News now.
2 men wounded in a Shreveport shooting last night just after 11. Officers were called to East 81st Street. When they got there, they found a man shot several times inside a car. That victim's wounds considered life-threatening. Then just after 2 this morning, a man suffering from gunshot wounds checked into local hospital. He told police he was shot while at the same location. The MPC approves a plan to redevelop the Shreveport Country Club. Matt Parker with that.
The Metropolitan Planning Commission has approved a plan from Chariot Companies to redevelop the Shreveport Country Club. John Henry, owner of Chariot, says that Shreveport is a great place that just needs new energy and capital. The company's plan does not include restoring the old golf course. Chariot plans to spend $240 million on the project and predicts the development will create 1,200 temporary construction jobs and 200 permanent jobs. From 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Matt Parker.
Teachers in Louisiana could get some help paying for college classes. Education spokesperson Sydney Dunn says any certified teacher in the state can apply for the program, but there is a priority for particular applicants.
Teachers who teach courses in science, technology, engineering, and math as part of the state's larger push to enhance STEM education.
Dunn says only 7 seats are available for each of the next 3 semesters. Space is limited, but she hopes funding will increase so they can add more space. 11 men and women from Barksdale have returned home after being stationed in Guam. The Barksdale personnel have been overseas since just after Christmas. Barksdale's been providing staff to support a continuous bomber presence in that country. Things are heating up for the November mayoral election in Shreveport. All candidates must qualify for the race next Wednesday through Friday at the Caddo Clerk's office. So far, several candidates have publicly tossed their hat into the ring, including current Mayor Ollie Tyler, Stephen Jackson, Leo Savage, Adrian Perkins, Jim Talaferro, Ray Smith, Tremikius Dixon, Ken Kraft, and John Paul Young. Election Day is November 6th. More election news with the race for the governor's mansion just 15 months away. Allies of Governor John Bel Edwards are discussing the variables of the campaign trail. During an appearance of Talk Louisiana, chairman of the state's Democratic Party, Stephen Handwerk, says he believes things look favorable for the governor.
His approval numbers are incredibly high. I've often said Bobby Jindal would have loved to have had the numbers that this governor is posting, but it's because he's getting results.
Now, with the potential of Senator John Kennedy entering the race, many are saying that it could be a big problem for Edwards. A Shreveport man guilty of beating a woman, Marvin Dixon, convicted of battery. Dixon, who choked and beat the mother of his 3 children, faces up to 8 years in prison. An inmate at Caddo Correctional Center has died. Kevin Weldon found unresponsive by his cellmate after returning from court. Prison staff attempted to revive Weldon, but were not successful. Details beginning to emerge about a SWEPCO employee who passed away while on the job. A spokesperson for the company, Carrie Sullivan, says the longtime employee has been identified as 42-year-old William Tommy Lawrence.
He'd worked for SWEPCO for 22 years. He leaves behind a wife and 2 children.
Sullivan explains in an interview the details of the situation are scarce, but Lawrence was working alone at the time of his passing. President Trump has arrived at NATO headquarters, where he's attending a second day of meetings with leaders of the military alliance. A central New York man got a rude awakening when a large snake fell from his bedroom ceiling and landed on him while he slept. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
.101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, 10 past 6 o'clock. Thursday morning traffic. Ruben's here.
Everything's still looking nice and clear for your early morning drive to work, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on Airline Drive just north of I-220 in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline, 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. It is going to be hot and humid today, and tomorrow we'll have sun, clouds, and some pop-up thunderstorms during the afternoon hours. The high 93 today and 96 tomorrow. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Maggie Johnson.
Good morning. It's 12 past 6 o'clock. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty, 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. Hang on a second. I have to turn the sound down.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I forgot to turn the sound on the computer off, and every time I get an email, it dings.
Ding.
Exactly.
Ding.
So where do we want to start today?
I don't know. We
I
have
had
this
a-
email chain. We have this great piece of audio that we need to play.
We'll get to that. I've got to start for us.
Okay.
Yesterday was maybe, and I said this to Steve Parr last night from American Ground. I said yesterday was probably the first day in 4+ years on KEEL that we have done an entire show, almost every segment on one topic.
I think you're right.
I mean, we usually bounce around pretty.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we'll repeat
all over
sort
the world.
of, the big stories in the first segment, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But yesterday, with the mayor and the city council and Sheriff Prater
And the hood.
all the stuff, yeah, exactly, all the stuff that happened, it was basically a one-trick pony for the whole 3 hours yesterday.
Yeah.
And bluntly put, there were times that it was not overly kind to the mayor.
It was not.
And so yesterday afternoon, I get a text from a friend of mine, not a person in political office, not a person who is attached to the mayor or her campaign.
Right.
But an enthusiastic backer of the mayor.
Okay. Uh-oh.
And this text said to me, and
They're mad
talked
at me?
about the show a couple of times, and basically, not exactly a quote, but pretty damn close, you guys are going to cost the mayor the election. You guys are going to cost
Really?
Ollie Tyler the election.
Wow.
And I thought about that for a couple of seconds, and I texted back the following. Don't even have to look on the phone.
Yeah.
I texted back the following. We've heard that before. Mm-hmm. And the text came back a couple of seconds later, really from who? And I said, about a month ago, from somebody who votes for Adrian Perkins.
Yeah.
I got basically the same text. You guys are killing the mayor. You guys are killing Adrian Perkins.
Right.
You guys are fill in the blank.
You're tearing them all up. You know what? And I struggle with it because I like Ollie Tyler. And people know that. I mean, we go back a long way. I like her.
There has not been, not only on a local level of all the candidates running for mayor, but there has I am hard pressed to think of anyone that we have had in the studio in 4 years who's running for something who has not seemed like a likable person.
Right. Most of them are.
Oh,
My problem is.
Stop. And we'll get to this later, I think.
Okay.
Did you see the text I sent you last night, the email about the governor?
Yes.
Yes. You need to make that happen. You need to pull every freaking high school string you can.
That's no trouble.
And make that happen.
First of all, it's college.
Okay.
But and we'll tell you guys about this later.
Okay.
Not now, because it deserves its own segment.
But when I say I like the mayor, I say that to tell you, but right now there are some blunders happening. And I'm not the kind of person, even though I like you and you're my friend, if you make a blunder, I'm not afraid to say I think you're making a blunder. And I would say this to her in person. I would say I think this is being mishandled. Period. Tell me straight what's going on. Tell me I don't need the sheriff to help. It would hurt the morale within the police department. We got this. Crime numbers are down. Keep drilling it into my head. And yes, some people say the perception of crime is up, but keep saying it. And you know, Matt told me yesterday, it's the spin. That's what they do. They spin things. Because she took a left turn on this plan. You know, this plan with the sheriff is now this plan from 2 years. I don't let me go on this again, because I will so mess up metaphors and all that stuff. You know, about the horse out of the barn with the bush. I don't know.
it could happen to anybody.
I know. I'll mess it all up. My head will explode.
So, all that being said,
Oh, my.
what are we going to do with this email?
We're going to read it. We got to figure out when, because this is
every segment all morning long.
This is dangerous stuff.
So,
This is
yesterday-
a major feud at City Hall among a couple of city council members, and we got forwarded this entire email chain.
So yesterday, well, it's on the website at keelnews.com.
Yeah.
And it's a segment from our show yesterday.
Yeah.
And it's entitled, At the Council, At the Council, what is the H word, and is it offensive? And it was a little back and forth yesterday, Tuesday afternoon at the council meeting between Councilwoman Stephanie Lynch and Councilman Jerry Bowman. And Miss Stephanie used the term the hood.
I'm from the hood.
I'm from the hood.
Yeah.
And you had told me in watching the video, the live video feed from the council that well, tell me again what happened.
Well, you know, after her little spiel about the hood, he was bristling in his chair, and you could tell he was agitated. And before he moved on to other comments from the mayor or somebody else, he said, I've just got to address this. When you talk about the hood, he said, you could tell he found it offensive. he found using that verbiage offensive. And she wants to claim, using the hood is just short for neighborhood. No. That is another hogwash, and I'll tell her to her face. When she says I'm from the hood, and then she says high crime areas, that's what you're talking about. I live in a high crime area, which people often refer to as the hood.
There's a little more to it than that.
So to say it's short for neighborhood, BS.
There's a little more to it. There's a little more to it than that from Stephanie. Because let me tell you.
I think you get Stephanie way better than I do. I think y'all have this thing. I really do.
She's not hard to figure out.
There is a pride in her, whether you agree with her politics or not,
yes,
whether you agree with her outlook on life, whether you agree with her shoot-from-the-hip style. But there is a pride that she exhibits in being from that neighborhood, and perhaps overcoming is too strong a word, but then again, maybe not. And she not only exhibits that pride in saying, I'm from the hood, but she is carrying that banner for all the good people who come from those circumstances.
And who are successful, yeah.
And those surroundings, and are making lives for themselves.
Yeah. Well, she's not happy with you and I, and we need to play that little clip later.
Cool.
Can we play that next?
Yeah.
It's literally 4 seconds.
Yeah.
How long does it take? Hey, those two suck.
Kinda,
yeah.
Awesome. Okay, when we come back, we will play, despite the nice things that I had to say about Stephanie, they were sort of written in water. We'll play that, and we will read for you guys.
Are we going to? Ooh.
The email that
Wait till you hear some of the juiciness in this.
That is circulating among Shreveport City Council members.
Wow.
19 past 6 o'clock, 101.7 FM, 710 Keel. You sure she just didn't mean you?
No.
Yes.
I thought I got her. 19 past 6. Here's Ruben.
Starting off your day looking nice and clear for your early morning drive to work, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on Uri Drive near East Kings Highway. If you have any accidents, hazards, or closures to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. It is going to be hot and humid today, and tomorrow we'll have sun, clouds, and some pop-up thunderstorms during the afternoon hours. A high 93 today and 96 tomorrow. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Maggie Johnson.
.7 FM, 710 Keel Sports.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. Oakland scored 3 runs in the top of the first and never looked back in an 8-3 win over the Astros in Houston. Chris Davis had 3 RBI, and Chad Pender gassed a 3-run homer to power the A's. Former LSU Tiger Alex Bregman was named to the American League All-Star team earlier this week. On Wednesday, the Astros' third baseman was chosen to participate in the Home Run Derby the night before the Midsummer Classic. Boston ran their winning streak to 9 games with a 4-2 win in Fenway over the Rangers. Chris Sale fanned 12 and 7 shutout innings to pick up his 10th win. Bartolo Colon suffered the loss. Before the game, Boston Globe reporter Pete Abraham noted that the Red Sox coaching staff had logged more plate appearances against the 45-year-old Colon than the Red Sox players had racked up. Former Shreve Gator and Evangel Eagle Santos Ramirez will be one of 3 Arkansas players attending SEC Media Days next week in Atlanta. North Webster alum and LSU All-American linebacker Devin White will be among the Tiger contingent attending. And in the World Cup, Croatia, in extra time, dispatched England 2-1. Croatia, the second smallest country ever to play for the World Cup championship on Sunday when they face France. From the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
Dear
Wow. I just,
Oh, my. This is so delicious.
I guess.
It's scrumptious.
No,
It's like a big plate of spaghetti with 2 meatballs on top.
It makes me cringe.
And
I
the
don't know what you're
meatballs are
talking
2
about.
city council members.
1017 1017 FM and 710 Keel. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. Keel app's a free download, always presented by Office Furniture Source. Okay, so play for me the Stephanie Lynch soundbite where you say that she is unhappy. Set this up for me.
She appeared last night on American Ground with Lewis and Steven. And she
City Councilwoman woman Stephanie Lynch. Okay.
And she was on the show. They invited her on the show to talk about what she meant when talking about the hood, saying she's from the hood. And we spent, the bulk of the show yesterday talking about crime. We talked about the hood and her comments and how Councilman Jerry Bowman took offense.
Didn't like her use of the term.
Yeah, he didn't like her use of the term hood. And she just had this little brief comment when they started.
Thank you all for having me, because this morning they had me for breakfast and didn't invite me.
Wait. Run that one again. Let me give it a little more. Let me give this 100% focus.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you all for having me, because this morning they had me for breakfast and didn't invite me.
We had her for breakfast and didn't invite her. She's welcome anytime.
Didn't you ask her to come on yesterday?
I don't know if I formally said, will you come on?
Well, you were texting her
Well, I was texting her the whole morning.
Mm-hmm.
She knows if she wants to come on, she can just say, hey, do you have time for me? And that's what everybody does.
Mm-hmm.
Or you want me to weigh in on this?
So what did
And
she
we just
say?
said-
What did she say on the show last evening? Parky, you were here. What did she say?
Well, she basically broke down of what I meant by hood is I wasn't saying it in a derogatory way. It's just short for neighborhood.
That's
People
BS.
People just shorten things. Will you let me say what she said? Then you can respond. That it was just short for neighborhood, and I was just, representing my place where I come from. And she had some interesting comments about the mayor, but because they were talking about, crime and whether the mayor's taking care of her people and the folks that voted her in the office. And Stephanie, in her
own inimitable style,
own way, this is pretty close to a direct quote, said, well, Ollie doesn't take care of the voters, but she takes care of the people that put $1 million in her bank account.
Ooh. Man. Did we really have Stephanie for breakfast?
Well, I think what she's talking about is that you quoted her a couple of times, and basically you ran the sound bites from the previous day's session, where she had used the H word in reference to the hood and a couple of other things she had to say about the crime situation et al. So, yeah, you had 3 Stephanie Lynch sound bites on the show yesterday from the Tuesday session.
Right.
So maybe that's what she means.
And it all, you posted the hood thing online at KEELnews.com.
The H word. Is it offensive? Who can say it? Is it like, has it gone the way of, like the latest one, you can't say, white people can't say thug. You can't say the word thug anymore, that's racially derogatory.
If I shorten the word neighborhood and say I live in the hood, is that offensive?
That's probably a little cultural appropriation.
Yeah, I can't do that.
Well, and you don't exactly live in the hood.
No, I don't live in the. Well, if I'm shortening the word neighborhood,
I
it's
mean,
a hood.
if when I think of the
you
hood,
live in a
pardon
hood
me,
too.
When I think of the hood, I'm thinking about like a Good Times episode.
Yeah,
it's.
Well, your little article. God bless your little pumpkin-headed self.
Started a war.
You started a major war because your article got shared with every city council member, and that started an email chain of events like Croatia was playing England at the World Cup soccer.
My goodness, look at the time.
It was this email chain, OMG.
Look at the time. We got to go. We'll talk about this when we get back.
Oh, my, talking about it, people's mamas.
Traffic and weather time. Erin has local news up next. Trust me, this is...
it's amazing.
It's an interesting back and forth. 29 past 6 o'clock. Here's Ruben.
Starting off your day looking nice and clear for your early morning drive to work, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on Uri Drive near East Kings Highway. If you have any accidents, hazards, or closures to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast will keep an eye out for a thunderstorm this afternoon. Otherwise, partly sunny, hot and humid. High of 93 and a few clouds tonight with a low of 76. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Maggie Johnson.
The power of information. KEEL News now.
The Metropolitan Planning Commission has approved a plan from Chariot Companies to redevelop the Shreveport Country Club. The company says it's a great place that just needs new energy and capital. The company's plan does not include restoring the golf course. Chariot does plan to spend $240 million on the project and predicts the development will create 1,200 temporary construction jobs and 200 permanent jobs. Airmen returning home. Matt Parker with that.
11 men and women from Barksdale Air Force Base have returned home after being stationed in Guam. The Barksdale personnel have been stationed overseas since just after Christmas. Barksdale has been providing staff to support a continuous bomber presence in Guam. From 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Matt Parker.
Shreveport man guilty of beating a woman. Marvin Dixon convicted of battery. Dixon, who choked and beat the mother of his 3 children, faces up to 8 years in prison and a $2,000 fine. Things are heating up for the November mayoral election. All candidates must officially qualify for the race next Wednesday through Friday at the Caddo Parish Clerk of Court's office. So far, several candidates have publicly tossed their hat into the ring, including current Mayor Ollie Tyler, Stephen Jackson, Leo Savage, Adrian Perkins, Jim Talaferro, Ray Smith, Tremikius Dixon, Ken Kreft, and John Paul Young. Election Day is November 6th. The Department of Education has released an application that will let public teachers in Louisiana enroll in college courses at the state's expense. Sidney Dunn says equipping teachers in STEM courses is paramount, as new skills obtained by teachers will immediately trickle down to the students, and offering the classes could lead to better teacher retention rates.
We need to prepare teachers with every opportunity to further their own education. This decision to revive this important program marks a step in the right direction.
Dunn says with only 7 seats available for each of the next 3 semesters, space is limited, but she hopes funding will increase once they get a chance to demonstrate how effective the program can be. More gun violence in Shreveport. 2 men are wounded during a shooting on East 81st Street. One victim was found at the scene. Another showed up at the hospital later. A holding facility for immigrants in Texas is causing a scare for Baytown residents and facility employees after an escaped juveniles reportedly roamed the neighborhood. One member of the community, afraid for his family, describes how he has encountered numerous of these migrant children near his town.
I've seen them climbing over the fences at nighttime. They came in my yard many a times. I've seen them hiding.
The facility's been operating for 8 years under the radar, where a Harris County elementary school had been. Croatia beats England 2-1 to advance to the World Cup finals. Fans in Zagreb, Croatia cheer as their team won the close game. Croatia will next face France on Sunday for the World Cup title. And a Louisiana man has won the runner-up prize in a drawing for the multi-state Powerball jackpot. 75-year-old Glenn Feasel of Boyce cashed in the ticket worth $1 million. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
Yeah, we'll get back to the city council stuff in a second or two. 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL, Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty, 24 away from 7 o'clock. So the World Cup soccer final is Croatia against France. Have I got that right?
Yeah, Croatia.
Earlier this week, the French knocked off the Belgians, or as
Waffles.
As Matt says, the Belgiums.
The Belgium Waffles.
It's like it's like on Andy Griffith, an Irishster.
And the Croats. What an amazing game!
All right, tell me.
England scored 5 minutes in. You think, oh, this is going to be a runaway. Well, the Croats came back and scored, and then toward the end of the game, in extra time, before you get to penalty kicks.
How do they determine extra time?
Extra time. Well, 2 things. Extra time is based on injury time. But then they actually went into an overtime.
In other words, the referee...
They went beyond extra time into another overtime.
The referee at the end of 90 minutes of regulation play sort of determines how much stoppage time there was in that 90 minutes.
Right.
And let's say for injuries or timeouts or just whatever there happened to be, he estimates we stopped In 90 minutes, we didn't play for about 5 of those.
Right.
So then they play 5 more.
Mm-hmm.
Then they were still tied, and they went to literally a sudden death.
Yeah.
Overtime period. First one to score wins.
No, they don't do that golden goal anymore.
No.
They play the full length. So if it's a 30-minute or whatever it is, they play the full length of that.
Will they do a penalty kick then at the end if it's still tied?
Then at the end of that, they do PKs.
Wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it didn't go that long.
No, it didn't go to PKs. They scored right there in the extra time to win it 2-1, and then they held off England for the rest of that extra time, held them at bay, and England had some shots. They had some chances.
So when is the World Cup championship? When does Croatia take on the French?
When is that game? I'm not sure exactly. This weekend, but my TV's set to record it automatically, and I'll find out when it is.
So you don't know when it's in your life. Literally, it is when you watch it.
Pretty much,
In
yeah.
other words, because you just you time shift everything.
Yeah, I watch it at my convenience.
Okay.
And I don't look at anything on my phone or anything to give me a hint of the score.
Erin Sports Killer McCarty.
Or she doesn't know who won the election yet.
No, don't tell me.
She's a no.
That's my favorite.
But if you are an underdog person, what is it? Croatia has 4 million people total. It's formerly part of Yugoslavia. It's been independent since 91?
91.
It's just such a Cinderella story. And for them to knock off England,
Cinderella story.
I'm in love with the Croats. Now they're not the hottest looking guys. I'll give you that. They're
Wow.
they're
Those unibrows are sexy.
Luka Modric he's a little bitty shrimpy little guy with scraggly hair. Somebody needs to take some some hair gel or something to him.
I don't know if this is true or not, that Croatian children are born with beards.
Oh, are they?
639, 1017 FM, 710 Keel. Hang on. What?
Oh, those emails. Oh, my gosh.
Cover that when we get back, I promise.
Oh, boy.
Traffic time. Ruben's here on Keel.
Looks like I-20 westbound's got to clear all the way to Dallas right now, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on I-220 westbound near North Market due to construction. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline, 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. It is going to be hot and humid today, and tomorrow we'll have sun, clouds, and some pop-up thunderstorms during the afternoon hours. The high 93 today and 96 tomorrow. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Maggie Johnson.
.117 FM, 710 Keel, Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty, 642.
Oh, boy.
Just got sort of I got to tell you, I just got an uneasy feeling about this.
Do you?
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of do.
I'm squirming a little myself.
I need some soap. Oof.
God, the word Shanique was in here, too? Man.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. So yesterday, we put on the Keel, well, it's on the Facebook page, too. But it's at keelnews.com. Give me a moment here to overcome my general
squirminess.
Yeah.
You started it.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
So at keelnews.com, I wrote an article yesterday at the council, at the council. What is the H word and is it offensive? And it had to do with Stephanie Lynch talking about I'm from the hood. And Councilman Jerry Bowman had a little. He said, I'm a little uneasy with that word. You know, I just don't like that word. It sort of paints with a broad brush, and that brush ain't positive.
Mm-hmm.
So the post that I put on the website at the council, what is the H word and is it offensive, was, what a coincidence, shared via email to all of the Shreveport City Council people.
Yes, it was.
And that was where the back and forth began.
Yeah.
And that first, now, I did not share the post with them. You did not share the post with them. We shan't mention names, but it was not anyone associated with this radio station.
Nope, it was not.
Nor our company, Town Square Media.
Right.
But you ended up being in this email link, this email chain.
Yeah, I think I got linked on the very first response, which came from Stephanie.
So, after the link to the H word, is it offensive, post on the KEEL website, Ms. Stephanie responded, wow, and this is sort of aimed at you and me. Wow, Trump must not be interesting enough for y'all that you have to hang on every word I say. LOL. And Jerry, meaning Jerry Bowman, who criticized her, and Jerry, shaking my head, poor fella. So at that point,
I'm now in on this email chain. I'm not answering.
Jerry responds
to everyone
to Stephanie's initial remarks about shaking my head, poor fella.
Nah, Steffi, you continue to get me wrong. I'll continue to take care of G,
meaning his district, yeah.
And you do what you do. Have a safe trip back to Baton Rouge. Councilman Jerry Bowman, Jr. Ow. Starting to heat up.
So,
if you think that's hot, wait.
Stephanie responds, Jerry, I really don't know anyone who's gotten you wrong. When a person shows you who they are, believe them. Everybody pretty much knows who you are, what you are, and whose you are.
Talking about his parents.
I feel sorry that you have to carry that burden and confusion daily.
Okay, now we're getting heated.
Game on.
Yep, Jerry replies. Now, mind you, every city council member's on this chain.
As are you.
Me. Jerry replies, ha, I know what you're looking for, but again, I won't give it to you. It's not me the majority of the citizens are talking about. Again, you've won that award. I honestly think you're a smart, intelligent person. And I don't have anything against you personally, although you slip my name here and there or saying I didn't or don't vote with certain things. But I guess that's just you being you. Don't feel sorry for me. Pray for me. And feel sorry for Oliver
Jenkins,
who has to sit next to you and endure. Glad I'm not him. But great for him taking the high road.
Wow.
It was good you were able to attend yesterday. Tell Governor Edwards hello if you see him while you're back at home/work. Call me again if you need to. There's no need to email me. Have a great evening. Councilman Jerry Bowman, Jr.
Believe it or
not over.
Believe it or not.
Oh, boy.
Ms. Lynch responds,
Whew.
You're right. If I was a do-nothing person prostituting myself for favors and a job, nobody would have anything to say about me, and I'd be just like you. I am smart and intelligent, which is why you should stay in your lane when I'm speaking and maybe learn something.
Wow!
Oliver's fine. He does not need you to attack me for him. But since you want to be his water boy so bad, I understand. I see you insist on perpetuating a lie about where I work and live. But being a pathological liar is definitely in your blood. Damn. So I understand. Oh, and Steffi, I like that. I may use it next council term. But I'm going to keep my hood girl Shaniqua on deck for you and Oliver in the meantime.
Oh, yikes.
We done yet?
No.
God. No.
This from Jerry.
Last one?
I think this might be it.
Thank God.
Do nothing person? That's a good one, LOL. I expected and applaud you on that one. I really expected you to get on board with my employment, which is in Shreveport, sooner or later. I appreciate that, and thanks for reminding me my bloodline. So you just summed it up, and you up. The apple really does not fall far from the tree. Trust that I've learned from you a whole lot, i.e., pathological is compulsive, habitual, or extreme in a way that is not normal, like the way you attend the meetings or not. I apologize if you feel as if I'm attacking you in some kind of way. That's definitely not the intention. And my comment about the hood was not an attack. It was just that, a comment. I'm assuming your trip back home was tiresome. Get some rest, and we can talk tomorrow or when you come back to visit. I'm done with this, and will stay in my lane. I'm hoping you do the same. Good night and good luck. Councilman Jerry Bowman.
Is it me, or is it just a little chilly in here?
That was at 12:40 in the morning.
Wow.
Who needs sleep when you have yelling to do?
The Shreveport Security Systems text line is 318-392-1884. What we want to know is, should we just put those on the KEEL Facebook, on the KEEL website also?
Oh, yeah, we need to put them up.
You think so?
We need to put them up.
Just screenshot the whole damn thing.
Oh,
The
man.
just finished radio theater starred Robert J. Wright as Stephanie Lynch and Erin McCarty as Jerry Bowman. Find out more later at KEELnews.com.
Can we do it in their voices next time?
649, 1017 FM, 710 KEEL. Traffic time. Here's Ruben.
Starting off your day looking nice and clear for your early morning drive to work, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on Uri Drive near East Kings Highway. If you have any accidents, hazards, or closures to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. It is going to be hot and humid today, and tomorrow we'll have sun, clouds, and some pop-up thunderstorms during the afternoon hours. The high 93 today and 96 tomorrow. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Maggie Johnson.
Good morning at 6:52. Time for KEEL Sports. Here's Tim.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. Oakland scored 3 runs in the top of the first and never looked back in an 8-3 win over the Astros in Houston. Chris Davis had 3 RBI, and Chad Pender gassed a 3-run homer to power the A's. Former LSU Tiger Alex Bregman was named to the American League All-Star team earlier this week. On Wednesday, the Astros' third baseman was chosen to participate in the Home Run Derby the night before the Midsummer Classic. Boston ran their winning streak to 9 games with a 4-2 win in Fenway over the Rangers. Chris Sale fanned 12 and 7 shutout innings to pick up his 10th win. Bartolo Colon suffered the loss. Before the game, Boston Globe reporter Pete Abraham noted that the Red Sox coaching staff had logged more plate appearances against the 45-year-old Cologne than the Red Sox players had racked up. Former Shreve Gator and Evangel Eagle Santos Ramirez will be one of 3 Arkansas players attending SEC Media Days next week in Atlanta. North Webster alum and LSU All-American linebacker Devin White will be among the Tiger contingent attending. And in the World Cup, Croatia, in extra time, dispatched England 2-1. Croatia, the second smallest country ever to play for the World Cup championship on Sunday when they face France. From the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
.107 FM and 710 Keel, Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. Senator John Kennedy joins us just past 8 o'clock this morning.
Mm-hmm.
He is on the Senate Judicial Committee, which
Right.
is sort of like phase 1 of the Brett Kavanaugh nomination. That sort of gets the ball rolling, as it were.
Yes.
Anything else you want to talk about? I want to talk about him. I want to talk about President Trump's with Senator John, with Mr. John, about the president's trip to the NATO meeting in Europe, right?
Yes, absolutely. I told him we were going to talk about the Supreme Court, but he's always open to anything. So,
John's pretty quick on his feet.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, it never ceases to amaze me the way that the mainstream media, the CNNs, the major networks, the MSNBCs, whatever Trump does is bad.
Right.
Basically, he's in Europe right now telling our NATO friends, listen, what is it you always, we don't have time. We'll pick this up again. First segment after 7 o'clock, promise. 6:56, here's Rush on Keel.
Folks, we're in the dog days of summer. The Democrats are melting down. I want to give you some examples. Jeffrey Toobin at CNN tweeted, when the Constitution was written in the late 18th century, people were expected to die in their 50s. The framers never contemplated that these terms would regularly go to 30-plus years as they do now. See, when they're out of power, not making the choices, we got to somehow limit the terms of the justices. Well, for the record, Thomas Jefferson died at 83. John Adams died at age 90. James Madison was 85 when he died. James Monroe, 73. Aaron Burr was 80. Benjamin Franklin, 84, just to name a few. Toobin is paranoid, doesn't know what he's talking about. Yale students had a letter to faculty and anybody else who cares. People will die because Brett Kavanaugh will ascend to the Supreme Court. Nobody's dying in America except people who are being subjected to liberal policies, such as 1.3 million abortions every year. I mean, that's just a start. But nobody died because Gorsuch is on the court. Nobody died because Obamacare the mandate was repealed. And from the Daily Beast, Trump's SCOTUS pick, probably the end of abortion rights. Pelosi says the end of civilization. Folks, these people and their mental health is on the way down to the sewer, and we need to stand aside and just let it happen and have them just disappear from view. Say, folks, last month I told you all about the big savings during Mahindra Dealer Days. Well, I've got some great news. My good friends at Mahindra have extended Dealer Day savings into July. That means it is not too late to hurry into your local Mahindra dealer for incredible summer savings on Mahindra's subcompact, compact, and utility tractors, plus a full line of utility vehicles. And Mahindra's long-lasting powertrain warranties still come standard. So if you missed out last month, don't wait another day. Care for the land you love with the tractors and UTVs that I recommend, Mahindra. To learn more about the world's #1 selling tractor and huge Dealer Day savings, visit MahindraUSA.com.
Take advantage of rock bottom prices and test drive a Mahindra today at Kelly Tractor and Equipment in Longview, or visit kellytractor.net. That's kellytractor.net.
Looks like I-20 westbound's got to clear all the way to Dallas right now, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on I-220 westbound near North Market due to construction. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline, 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. It is going to be hot and humid today, and tomorrow we'll have sun, clouds, and some pop-up thunderstorms during the afternoon hours. The high 93 today and 96 tomorrow. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Maggie Johnson.
Breaking news and trending talk. This is 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. KEEL, Shreveport.
Good morning at 7:03. Robert and Erin, 101.7 FM and 710 Keel. Erin, local news, getting it ready right now.
More violence in one Shreveport neighborhood. We'll talk about that. The MPC approves a plan for the old Shreveport Country Club and a big welcome home at Barksdale.
Let's see. We do have, just past 8 o'clock this morning, Senator John Kennedy. So lots of questions we want to ask. We will review some of those, including the president's trip to Europe and meeting with our NATO allies. You know, those Euros that have our back. Fletcher in sports, traffic, and weather. It's all coming up this hour, and it's here on Keel.
The Keel Morning Report, now on 101.7 FM and 710 Keel.
2 men wounded in a Shreveport shooting. Last night, just after 11, officers were called to East 81st Street. When they got there, they found a man shot several times inside a car. That man's wounds considered life-threatening. Now then, just after 2 this morning, a man suffering from gunshot wounds checked into a local hospital. That man told police he was shot while at the same location. The Metropolitan Planning Commission has approved a plan from Chariot Companies to redevelop the Shreveport Country Club. John Henry, the owner of Chariot, says Shreveport's a great place that just needs new energy and capital. The company's plan includes keeping 9 holes of the golf course. Chariot plans to spend $240 million on the project and predicts the development will create 1,200 temporary construction jobs and 200 permanent jobs. 11 men and women from Barksdale have returned home after being stationed in Guam. The Barksdale personnel have been stationed overseas since just after Christmas. Barksdale's been providing staff to support a continuous bomber presence in that country. Qualifying for Shreveport's mayoral race right around the corner, Matt Parker takes a closer look.
Things are heating up for the November mayoral election in Shreveport. All candidates must officially qualify for the race next Wednesday through Friday at the Caddo Parish Clerk's office. So far, several candidates have publicly tossed their hat into the ring, including current Mayor Ollie Tyler, Stephen Jackson, Leo Savage, Adrian Perkins, Jim Talaferro, Ray Smith, Tremikius Dixon, Ken Kraft, and John Paul Young. Election Day is November 6th. From 101.7 FM and 710 Keel, I'm Matt Parker.
Also from the election world, the race for the governor's mansion just 15 months away. Allies of Governor John Bel Edwards are discussing the road to re-election. Political strategist Mary Patricia Ray says the governor's favorable outcome from the special session does not necessarily play into Senator John Kennedy's decision to run.
I think Senator Kennedy is going to make his decision based on what all political consultants would advise him to make his decision on, and that's whether there's a path to victory.
Ray says she believes Kennedy has wanted to be governor for a long time and that this may be his only remaining opportunity. A Shreveport man has died in his cell at Caddo Correctional Center. 57-year-old Kevin Randall Weldon was found unresponsive by his cellmate who was returning from a court appearance. Life-saving measures were used by jail staff and the Shreveport Fire Department, but Weldon could not be revived. Weldon was in jail for his 4th DWI and possession of a Schedule II drug. A SWEPCO lineman has died while working in a residential neighborhood. William Lawrence had worked for SWEPCO for 22 years. He leaves behind a wife and 2 children. While SWEPCO has not released detailed information surrounding the accident, they say Lawrence's death is under investigation. Victory signs have been coming from the 12 boys who were rescued along with their soccer coach from a flooded cave in Thailand. Video shows the boys in a hospital isolation ward wearing green surgical masks. Some of the crying parents are waving to them from behind the glass. And Utah police are looking for the owner of a loaded gun left behind on a baby changing table in a women's restroom in Salt Lake City's aquarium. Authorities say they don't plan to file any criminal charges against the gun's owner. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
Good morning, 9 past 7 o'clock, 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL traffic update for Thursday. Here's Ruben.
The intersection of Kings Highway and Linwood Avenue is dealing with some slow-moving traffic right now. And we have some traffic delays on Barksdale Boulevard near Westgate Drive in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast will keep an eye out for a thunderstorm this afternoon. Otherwise, partly sunny, hot and humid, high of 93, and a few clouds tonight with a low of 76. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Maggie Johnson.
We were talking about that out there.
Unless something better comes up.
There's nothing better than that.
And it would have to be something incredibly awesome. 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL, Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty, 12 after 7 o'clock. Shreveport Security System text line 3.
This did not happen.
318-392-1884. A little bit later this hour, Tom Kaz is the fellow's name. He's the host, the hypnotist, the comic, the cog of the wheel, the hub, the straw that stirs the drink of Hypnaughty. That's going to be at the Remington Hotel this weekend, right? Okay. And
if you want to go, you can text us on the Shreveport Security Systems text line.
Wait, we have tickets?
Yeah, we do.
318-392-1884. How many pairs of tickets do we have?
The first 3 people that text us and say they want a pair of tickets.
Just text Hypnaughty.
Yeah.
To
I want to go, yeah.
318-392-1884, and we'll get tickets for you, and we'll text you back with arrangements.
Slow that down one more time because we always get complaints. Robert went too fast.
318-392-1884.
Yeah, text away. First 3 that get in.
And we'll take care of you guys.
Yeah.
What I started to say was, I promise, unless something better comes up. and the chance of something better coming up rather is pretty slim.
Mm-hmm.
We will replay Erin having been hypnotized nigh on 2 decades ago.
Oh, seriously?
And it's the old Dr. Death bit.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah. It's incredible.
Dr. Death was awesome.
And I cannot help but remind everyone, and I'm sure I'll mention it to Mr. Tom when he comes in. If he makes it on time this morning, he should be on the way.
Yeah.
Tom Kaz, that you have been described previously by a professional hypnotist, a guy named Ricky Kalman, highly thought of in his profession.
Mm-hmm.
He said at the time, the last time he was here, the last time he hypnotized you, he had been what his quote about Erin was, he said, in 16 years of being a professional on-stage hypnotist, of doing like seminars for people to stop smoking or whatever bad habit it happens to be.
I'm the gal.
Of doing these corporate motivational speaking tours. He said, in 16 years of being a professional hypnotist, I've never found anyone who's more easily hypnotized than Erin McCarty. That was what he said.
You just go, bing, and I'm
And
down.
if you've never heard the Erin / Dr. Death, the late Steve Williams, it's about what, 4 or 5
No,
minutes?
it's 3 minutes, 2.5. And, Dr. Death, the man, was an awesome guy.
And he was in the room.
But Erin pretending or thinking that she was Dr. Death and trying to beat up poor Steve is just priceless.
It is pretty amazing. Now,
God bless Steve.
From those times, and I've asked you this before, from those times when you were literally your actions were at the mercy of this hypnotist.
Absolutely.
What do you
all the times I've been hypnotized, I went and fired Carol, remember?
Yeah.
This evil HR person we had. I saw McCoy naked, jumping up and down outside the studio.
In your head.
Yes, vividly. I gave people raises that I wasn't allowed to give. I did all kinds of
And this was
silly
on
stuff.
the radio with us here in this building.
Yes.
And then we went, it was the old Funny Bone where Ricky was, and he got you up on stage.
Oh, dear God.
And it was
Oh, I've done some silly things.
In your memory of having been hypnotized, what's in your memory of being hypnotized? Is it like a dream?
It's like a dream. It's when I would wake up from it, I would know something crazy had happened, and I would remember bits and pieces of it, but I would feel like I slept for 2 days.
So when you would be doing these things, when you would be thinking you were
it wasn't me.
Huh?
It wasn't really me.
No, it's just the opposite. You will never do, that's what they say, hypnotists will tell you, that you would never do anything under hypnosis that you wouldn't do in real life. You can ask Tom that when he comes in.
I know.
So basically it's like being blackout drunk. Like, I kind of remember like The Hangover.
Yeah.
You wake up in the morning, you're like, why the hell is
Yeah.
there a tiger in my bathroom?
Right.
And then you kind of put the
How
pieces
did I
together.
get these boobs?
Yeah,
Exactly. Okay.
yeah.
Coming up just past 8 o'clock is Senator John Kennedy. He wants to talk about the Brett Kavanaugh nomination. And I want to talk about the Trump thing, his current trip to Europe, and sort of laying down the law to our NATO buddies, our NATO allies. And they, as does the mainstream media here in the USA, what is Trump doing? Just another example of his madness, of his craziness. He's insane. He's pulling the rug out from under these decades-long steel-like strength relationships. What is it you always say? What is it, one of the things that one of the points you always bring up when you talk about U.S. foreign policy? And you always say, why does America have to be the policeman of the world?
Why?
Why is it?
Why are we the one that everybody calls when they need help?
Why does that responsibility fall on us?
Why?
Well, I want you to think about that today and tomorrow and as long as this Trump trip lasts, or as long as this guy, meaning Trump, he's insane, this constant bleating from the mainstream media about this trip and how Trump is screwing it up again. Because basically what Donald Trump is telling our European allies, our NATO friends, is that, you know what? We, the United States, have carried the freight. We have paid for your defense.
Right.
For nearly 60 years.
Enough is enough.
You have been promising for 60 years that you would put up 2% of, I think it's that, whatever your nation is, your GDP as a contribution to NATO. And you know what? You haven't done it.
Right.
Every year we get together and you praise the USA and you praise yourselves, and we promise to remain strong against whatever the threat from the Soviet Union or Russia or the Warsaw Pact nations, whomever it happens to be.
Right.
And you don't pay up.
It is time to pay the pauper.
And right now, or whatever you mean, and right now, Angela Merkel, the president, the prime minister, the queen of Germany, is saying, yeah, we promise we'll start paying in 2024. And Trump is saying, no. You're going to start paying now.
Now.
Or
peace out.
And he means it.
Yeah.
And he means it like no U.S. president has ever meant it. And he's saying things that no U.S. president has ever so bluntly said to our allies. What he's saying is, and I'll say it again, we, the USA, have toted your defense freight. We have carried your water for 6 decades. And you've been promising to contribute 2% of your GDP, and you haven't done it, and it's time, and things are going to change.
Yep, write me a check.
19 past 7 o'clock, 101.7 FM, 710 Keel traffic update. Ruben's here.
Still keeping an eye on that heavy backed up traffic on I-20 westbound near Hamilton Road due to a stalled bus. And we have some traffic delays on Texas Street in downtown Shreveport. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast will keep an eye out for a thunderstorm this afternoon. Otherwise, partly sunny, hot and humid. High of 93 and a few clouds tonight with a low of 76. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Maggie Johnson.
Urban 10 Keel.
101.7 FM, 710 Keel, 21 past 7 o'clock. Here's Fletch.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. Oakland scored 3 runs in the top of the first and never looked back in an 8-3 win over the Astros in Houston. Chris Davis had 3 RBI, and Chad Pender gassed a 3-run homer to power the A's. Former LSU Tiger Alex Bregman was named to the American League All-Star team earlier this week. On Wednesday, the Astros' third baseman was chosen to participate in the Home Run Derby the night before the Midsummer Classic. Boston ran their winning streak to 9 games with a 4-2 win in Fenway over the Rangers. Chris Sale fanned 12 and 7 shutout innings to pick up his 10th win. Bartolo Colon suffered the loss. Before the game, Boston Globe reporter Pete Abraham noted that the Red Sox coaching staff had logged more plate appearances against the 45-year-old Colon than the Red Sox players had racked up. Former Shreve Gator and Evangel Eagle Santos Ramirez will be one of 3 Arkansas players attending SEC Media Days next week in Atlanta. North Webster alum and LSU All-American linebacker Devin White will be among the Tiger contingent attending. And in the World Cup, Croatia, in extra time, dispatched England 2-1. Croatia, the second smallest country ever to play for the World Cup Championship on Sunday when they face France. From the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
Twenty-four past 7 o'clock. Robert and Erin, 101.7 FM and 710 Keel. See, this is awesome to me because not only was it one of the greatest moments of the Robert and Erin show spanning 2 decades plus, and it's just because you're so incredible, but you like it for a number of reasons, not only because...
Well, it's entertaining, and it has one of my favorite people in the world in it.
So tell me about Dr. Death. Tell me about Steve Williams, what you know.
Well, he's probably...
Shreveport guy.
Well, he lived here for a long time. Oklahoma guy, big football star. He was an All-American wrestler. And then, he got into the world of professional wrestling and was one of the biggest stars, if not the biggest American star in Japan for a long, long time. He was undefeated in America for like 15 years.
What made him such a great wrestler as not only as an athlete, but as a performer, specifically an entertainer?
Well, he was just a big guy that could do stuff that people half his size couldn't accomplish.
So he was an amazing athlete.
Yeah, and later in his career, when he wasn't really with the WWF, they would still bring him in to work out guys because he just had a way of bringing out the best in people. So if they're thinking about, we're thinking about giving this guy a contract, let's have him have a match with Steve and see. And Steve would, test them and see how they worked and, put them over.
So he was a pro's pro.
Oh, yeah. He was great at his job.
So this is what? This is probably 2005, 2007?
Something like that.
It's from the KVKI years.
Yeah.
And Ricky Kalman was...
No, we were in that studio.
We were on 94.5
I remember it
still?
vividly, yes. He was standing behind you, remember?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Ricky Kalman was the hypnotist, and he hypnotized Erin. And as you'll hear, he convinced her that she was Dr. Death,
yeah,
the wrestler, Steve Williams.
How does my voice change like that?
The thing was, Dr. Death, Steve, was in the room standing next to me.
Right there.
And you, in this hypnotic trance, you don't realize you sort of blanked him out. You're not until Ricky tells you. So this is... Erin hypnotized. If you've never heard this, it is pretty awesome.
Oh, boy.
It has Matt's imprimatur. What more can you hope for? This is Erin hypnotized, thinking under hypnosis that she is Steve Williams, Dr. Death.
Erin, you're going to become Dr. Death.
As an aside, what happens when she sees the real Dr.
When she sees the real Dr. Death, she thinks it's an imposter. Okay? So on 3, everybody becomes different celebrity, different personality, but Aaron, you're Dr. Death. There we go. This is going to be interesting.
You're a bad man.
You got a good sense of humor, right, sir? Seen that? Yeah. You notice how I use the word sir? Big egomaniac celebrities. 1, 2, slowly sit up, all the way up in your seats, and 3, open your eyes. Welcome. Open your eyes, open your eyes, open your eyes, open your eyes.
Aaron's looking very bulky.
Okay, all right, where are you?
Aaron.
Hey, all right, well, let's introduce our celebrities that have come out to talk to us here today. First of all, go down there. Can you come a little closer to the mic? Oh, hold on. Introduce yourself over here. Who are you?
You don't know who the hell I am?
No, who are you?
What's wrong with you?
Nothing. I'm Ricky Kalman. How are you?
I'm Dr. Death.
All right.
Sit the hell down.
Oh, sorry, sir. Okay, I'll sit down with you, sir.
What's the matter with you?
Nothing. I'm just doing an interview here this morning, talking about my show at the Funny Bone for the next 2 weeks. What are you doing?
Get
We
around
met
here.
last time I was in town, Dr. Beth. I went to your workout place. Cool facility.
Nice. Best in town. Best in town.
Yes, it is.
Get a smoothie?
What's that?
Did you get a smoothie while you're
No,
there?
I didn't get a smoothie while I was there.
You should get a smoothie.
Are they powered smoothies? You got little nutritious
Oh, whatever
stuff?
you want in them.
Yeah. You put rocks in yours, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you eat rocks and dirt and stuff.
Look at this.
Yeah, I see that.
Well, get a bill. Oh,
man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Jeez, you're big in Japan.
I'm huge.
Yeah, I know. Well, no, I know you're a big guy, but you know.
I'm the man.
Yeah, I know you are the man. So
nobody touched me in Japan.
Nobody touched you. Who are some of your competitors in Japan that your nemesis?
Yucky weenie boy.
Yes, really. Doctor,
who's this guy?
Who's this guy laughing at you?
Who the heck is that?
I don't know.
Hey! Don't put your hand up at me. Don't talk like me, dude. What's the matter with you?
I think he's making fun of you.
Who do you think you are?
Where'd you get that deep voice?
I'm Dr. Death, man.
Who?
Dr. Death.
No, I'm the real doctor.
Oh, no, you're not.
Oh, yes, I am.
Pump it up. Come on. Come on. You want a piece?
No.
Oh, dear God.
At your finest. At your finest.
Whatever.
29 past 7 o'clock, 101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Here's Ruben.
Still keeping an eye on that heavy backed up traffic on I-20 westbound near Hamilton Road due to a stalled bus. And we have some traffic delays on Texas Street in downtown Shreveport. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. It is going to be hot and humid today, and tomorrow we'll have sun, clouds, and some pop-up thunderstorms during the afternoon hours. The high 93 today and 96 tomorrow. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Maggie Johnson.
The power of information. KEEL News now.
The Metropolitan Planning Commission has approved a plan from chariot companies to redevelop the Shreveport Country Club. The company says it's a great place that just needs new energy and capital. The company's plan does not include restoring the golf course. Chariot does plan to spend $240 million on the project and predicts the development will create 1,200 temporary construction jobs and 200 permanent jobs. Airmen returning home. Matt Parker with that.
11 men and women from Barksdale Air Force Base have returned home after being stationed in Guam. The Barksdale personnel have been stationed overseas since just after Christmas. Barksdale has been providing staff to support a continuous bomber presence in Guam. From 101.7 FM and 710 Keel, I'm Matt Parker.
Shreveport man guilty of beating a woman. Marvin Dixon convicted of battery. Dixon, who choked and beat the mother of his 3 children, faces up to 8 years in prison and a $2,000 fine. Things are heating up for the November mayoral election. All candidates must officially qualify for the race next Wednesday through Friday at the Caddo Parish Clerk of Court's office. So far, several candidates have publicly tossed their hat into the ring, including current Mayor Ollie Tyler, Stephen Jackson, Leo Savage, Adrian Perkins, Jim Talaferro, Ray Smith, Tremikius Dixon, Ken Kreft, and John Paul Young. Election Day is November 6th. The Department of Education has released an application that will let public teachers in Louisiana enroll in college courses at the state's expense. Sidney Dunn says equipping teachers in STEM courses is paramount, as new skills obtained by teachers will immediately trickle down to the students, and offering the classes could lead to better teacher retention rates.
We need to prepare teachers with every opportunity to further their own education. This decision to revive this important program marks a step in the right direction.
Dunn says with only 7 seats available for each of the next 3 semesters, space is limited, but she hopes funding will increase once they get a chance to demonstrate how effective the program can be. More gun violence in Shreveport. 2 men are wounded during a shooting on East 81st Street. One victim was found at the scene. Another showed up at the hospital later. A holding facility for immigrants in Texas is causing a scare for Baytown residents and facility employees after an escaped juveniles reportedly roamed the neighborhood. One member of the community, afraid for his family, describes how he has encountered numerous of these migrant children near his town.
I've seen them climbing over the fences at nighttime. They came in my yard many a times. I've seen them hiding.
The facility's been operating for 8 years under the radar, where a Harris County elementary school had been. Croatia beats England 2-1 to advance to the World Cup finals. Fans in Zagreb, Croatia cheer as their team won the close game. Croatia will next face France on Sunday for the World Cup title. And a Louisiana man has won the runner-up prize in a drawing for the multi-state Powerball jackpot. 75-year-old Glenn Feasel of Boyce cashed in the ticket worth $1 million. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 Keel.
.101.7 FM and 710 Keel. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty, 735. Joining us for a bit is professional hypnotist, comedian, and just all-around amazing guy, Tom Kaz, who returns to the Arklatex. It's Saturday night, yes?
Absolutely. Back in town, ready to bring the madness from Vegas, baby.
At the Remington Hotel. Tell me more about the show.
Yeah.
And then we can just kind of mention that 3 or 4 times during our conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's good to be back. It's good to be back and see everybody.
You bet.
As you guys know, I was here for a couple of years doing the Margaritaville thing. And Hypnoti obviously has grown, and we wanted to come back to Shreveport and revisit all of our fans. I mean, we saw over 25,000 people during the run we were here, so we were excited to get the opportunity to come back and work with the Remington to do this amazing rooftop show, which is kind of cool.
Pardon me, I was going to ask. I am relatively familiar with the Remington Hotel downtown Shreveport, and my first thought was, Do they have an auditorium? Do they have a theater? Where are they going to put in 400 or 500 or 600 people or however many it happens? How are they going to do that?
Well, it's the magic of Las Vegas. We're bringing it to Shreveport, but the Newton and the team over there, they just got a great plan together to bring in some trussing and some lighting and just turn it into a stage for the night. And it's the Gerard Butler Theater, that's there, of course, upstairs.
Yeah.
Gerard Butler. Everyone knows who he is. He's the angry man on television.
Yeah.
And in the movies. But, it's just a great little spot. It's, it reminds me very much of some of the newer stuff they're doing in Vegas with the boutique hotels. But it's just a great spot, and a chance to go up, be underneath the stars and hang out with a bunch of friends and family and just have some fun.
Saturday night, what time are you starting?
Yeah, party starts at 7:00, and we are gonna get the show started around 8:00. But we're gonna open the doors 6:30, 6:45. You know what? Whenever you get there, the party's gonna begin. So
let me people that are not familiar with, it's Tom Kaz Hypnaughty.
Hypnaughty.
And I want you to explain. You're a hypnotist, but this is
so much more.
R-rated hypnotist. It is so funny.
It is. It's a lot of fun, and we had so much fun coming through here before, and the show is adult oriented, but it's I think I kind of fashioned myself as the cleanest dirty hypnotist out there, right? But at the end of the day, our goal is just to have a good time. We saw so many people here, and obviously we did a lot of great things with you guys, and we were excited to come back. And the Remington's going to start doing these on a regular basis, these comedy shows, these musical shows, and the opportunity to come back to Shreveport was as soon as they asked me, I said absolutely, let's go do it. And,
now this is not your first rodeo. You are somewhat experienced at this.
A little bit. Been doing it for a few years.
once or twice.
Yeah.
But you mentioned something before we started on the air about more audience involvement than ever, more of a I don't want to say free form, but improv, right?
Yeah, well, we just want to get people to be engaged in the show. People want immersive experiences these days, right?
You bet.
So part of my plan for this is it's not going to be the big giant stage show like a Hard Rock or a Margaritaville with lights, and it's not going to be the drums and the dancers. It's going to be the old school Tom Kaz with 20 chairs and a microphone and 500 people just ready to have a good time and laugh their asses
and
off.
You're going to call people up from the audience, and they're going to be part of the show. And,
absolutely, just like the old days.
And they're going to get wild and crazy.
Speaking of the old days, it is a tribute to your skills, my friend. Your evening on stage with Down the Hall on KWKH on the Tiger, Tim Fletcher, when you hypnotize Tim, is
true.
Still, we don't have time to go into it, but if there were ever someone on stage under your power who could be described at that singular moment or as hypnaughty.
Yeah.
It was Tim.
Tim was the flagship man. He was the guy. I mean, he was perfect for that particular night, and that was our very first show.
Was it really?
That was our first showcase show, and it was back, and I remember it because it was my brother's birthday, December 21st. And we came into this market, coming from our successful run in Biloxi, and we didn't know what was going to happen. So we did our first show. We had a couple hundred people. We're like, hey, it turned out great. Next week we had a few hundred more, and then after that we started packing the place out, and we kept doing it for a year, and it was just so much fun.
Yeah.
And for those of you that are listening out there, I just want to thank everybody who ever came to the show. And if you haven't been to the show in a while, you got to come check us out on Saturday night, because I promise you I'm bringing the madness. It's going to be completely unleashed.
If you say there's nothing to do in Shreveport, this is a Vegas entertainer who is here in our town and funny as hell.
Funny as hell. That's what Jeff Dunham says. He says that a lot,
And it's Saturday night, and you can get your tickets. We've got some to give away throughout the morning today.
Through the morning, if you'd like. We'll tell you how as we start the next segment. Promise me.
Yeah.
But if folks want to buy tickets, if they want to get tickets, tell us how.
Yeah, there's a post on Eventbrite through the Remington Hotel's website.
Eventbrite, right?
Absolutely,
okay.
And you can obviously there's a link I think on your guys' site as well.
You bet.
And then Tom Kaz's Hypnaughty is all over Facebook. Mm-hmm. But all you need to know right now is that if you haven't got your tickets yet, that you need to get them now, because we have some surprises in store for you guys on Saturday.
That from your earlier time here, and people. When was the last time you were here? I want to say 4 or 5 years ago.
It's been 3
3
years
ago.
3 years.
People are still people in this building who attended your shows, they are still, I'm not making this up. Well, you heard me reference Fletcher.
Yeah.
They are still talking about how funny and how unbelievable your skills are.
It's just, and that's a testament to just having fun, and you guys have always been so much fun. That's why when they asked me to come back here and sit with you guys, it's like, absolutely, but it's, I'm looking forward to just seeing a lot of old faces, a lot of new faces. We are planning a little. Should we go ahead and announce what we're doing?
Yeah.
Should we?
Yeah.
Okay.
The secret thing. Go ahead.
Yeah, the thing. So the owner of the Remington's just an amazing guy, and so we were sitting around last night, and he's like, you know what? We're not going to end the show after the show. We're going to throw a VIP after party, and it's going to be in the Remington, and we're just going to have a blast. So we're going to be having drink specials and a DJ kicking some music. So if you don't have anything better to do than go to a Vegas show on Saturday night and then kick it with 500 cool people on the roof of an amazing facility.
Yeah.
I invite you to come out. Just get out there and let's have some fun. I promise you, you will not forget this night. It's gonna be epic.
Tom Kaz, go ahead. I'm sorry.
One tip. When you go see Tom Kaz and the Hypnaughty show Saturday night at the Remington, wear your nice underwear. Just a little tip.
Or don't wear any at all. It's just less to deal with,
Tom Kaz and Hypnaughty Saturday night, 8 o'clock. May start a little earlier, going to run a little later, maybe even into Sunday.
Hey, you know what?
At the Remington Hotel downtown. Thank you so much as always. I know you've got other radio stations to hit while you're here, but it is always a pleasure to see.
My pleasure.
A pleasure to see you, and always great to have you back in the Arc.
Thank you guys so much, and I hope to see you guys and everybody that's listening right now out there. Just come have some fun with us.
I'm pushing Erin up toward the stage.
Oh,
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Erin
740.
McCarty.
It'll be awesome. 743, 1017 FM, 710 Keel. Here's Ruben.
Still keeping an eye on that heavy backed up traffic on I-20 westbound near Hamilton Road due to a stalled bus. And we have some traffic delays on Texas Street in downtown Shreveport. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast will keep an eye out for a thunderstorm this afternoon. Otherwise, partly sunny, hot and humid. High of 93 and a few clouds tonight with a low of 76. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Maggie Johnson.
.101.7 FM at 710 Keel. Robert and Erin, 745. You know what's cool about Tom Kaz is that he comes in and tries.
He's just, there's some guys in my life that you just know and you see when they walk into a room, they're just cool. He's just a cool guy.
And like I said, having had maybe in our careers one or two not so good interviews.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, how are you? I'm in town this weekend. Come to my show.
Yeah.
That a guy who lives his life at midnight comes in at 7:30 in the morning and busts it.
Right.
You can't help but like that.
Exactly.
Senator John Kennedy joins us just about 10 past 8 o'clock. I mention that because one of the topics, the main topic we'll discuss with him, Mr. John is on the Senate Judicial Committee, which is like phase one of the confirmation process for SCOTUS nominee Brett Kavanaugh. Now, I said SCOTUS for a reason. No,
this did not happen.
Just, we'll go back to the Rush Limbaugh segment just before the top of the 7 o'clock hour.
All right.
Now, how do I phrase this? For about 3 days now, the off-the-air joke has
It started as a Freudian slip and then became a running joke.
The off-the-air joke has been Scrotus. And we've had...
Because you don't like when I say SCOTUS because you think it sounds too much like...
Scrotus.
Right.
So the point being, we've just been waiting on the air. We've had like a bet.
We're going to have a slip of the tongue.
That whoever has to say it has to give $5 to the other two.
Yeah.
And it hasn't happened yet.
No.
But then, during the Rush Limbaugh segment...
I think he slipped.
Okay. Listen to Rush in this, I think it's a sentence or two.
Yeah, it's like 7 seconds.
From earlier this morning, and you tell me, does he say SCOTUS? Or does he say the other?
And from the Daily Beast, Trump's SCOTUS pick, probably the end of abortion rights. Pelosi says the end of civilization.
What was it?
SCOTUS. He said SCOTUS.
He kind of slurred. It's hard.
He didn't scrotum.
No, that's not what he...
Stop. Oh, my God. Oh, my. We're just going to go to break now. You've killed the whole thing.
Okay.
7:48.
And don't let me mix it up with Croatia either, because I'm messing that up bad.
No, those poor Scroads. 7:48, 101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Here's Ruben.
A stalled bus still has things backed up on the I-20 westbound near Hamilton Road, and we're dealing with some traffic delays on Benton Road near Brownlee Road in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. It is going to be hot and humid today, and tomorrow we'll have sun, clouds, and some pop-up thunderstorms during the afternoon hours. The high 93 today and 96 tomorrow. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Maggie Johnson.
101.7 FM and 710 Keel. In-depth coverage.
Hi, this is Senator Greg Tarver. Keel always brings us information for the city of Shreveport. Robert and Erin, thank you very much for doing a great job.
We are Keel. 101.7 FM and 710 Keel.
Good morning, 752, 101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Here's Fletch.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. Oakland scored 3 runs in the top of the first and never looked back in an 8-3 win over the Astros in Houston. Chris Davis had 3 RBI, and Chad Pender gassed a 3-run homer to power the A's. Former LSU Tiger Alex Bregman was named to the American League All-Star team earlier this week. On Wednesday, the Astros' third baseman was chosen to participate in the Home Run Derby the night before the Midsummer Classic. Boston ran their winning streak to 9 games with a 4-2 win in Fenway over the Rangers. Chris Sale fanned 12 and 7 shutout innings to pick up his 10th win. Bartolo Colon suffered the loss. Before the game, Boston Globe reporter Pete Abraham noted that the Red Sox coaching staff had logged more plate appearances against the 45-year-old Colon than the Red Sox players had racked up. Former Shreve Gator and Evangel Eagle Santos Ramirez will be one of 3 Arkansas players attending SEC Media Days next week in Atlanta. North Webster alum and LSU All-American linebacker Devin White will be among the Tiger contingent attending. And in the World Cup, Croatia, in extra time, dispatched England 2-1. Croatia, the second smallest country ever to play for the World Cup championship on Sunday when they face France. From the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
1017 FM. It's Francis McDormand from
Oh,
Fargo.
my God.
1017 FM and 710 KEEL. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. Shreveport Security System presents the KEEL text. 318-392-1884. Yes, if you are unaware.
OMG.
So we're going back to the KEEL Theater?
Oh, yeah.
Theater of the Mindless. Good heavens.
My goodness. These emails, Robert.
We've got about 75 seconds.
Mhm.
Tell everyone what we're talking about, and
Yeah.
we will cover those in the 8 o'clock hour, I promise.
Yesterday, we did a lot of talk about crime and the city council meeting, and Stephanie Lynch, council member, saying she lived in the hood, and another council member, Jerry Bowman, the chairman, kind of taking offense with her use of the word hood. And you posted it.
His implication was that she was painting with a broad brush. Now, let me just, anybody doesn't know, both Lynch and Bowman are African American.
You
so
bet.
it's not like there's a white guy standing up going, what? You can't say hood? No, no, no.
And then you posted at keelnews.com. What's the title of that thing again?
Basically, it's at the city council, the H word. What is it? And are you allowed to say it?
Well, that got sent to every city council member, your post about the H word. And that sparked
A back and forth?
OMG.
A little
tete-a-tete.
A little, is insult tennis
Oh,
too strong
my
a term?
gosh.
It was like Federer and Anderson
And
yesterday.
this email chain went on until almost 1 o'clock this morning.
And in case you happen to miss it in the 6 o'clock hour, I promise we will review.
Ooh.
You will not be disappointed.
Ooh, Lordy.
7:57, here's Hannity on KEEL.
Your morning cup of Sean. This is the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
Now they're putting all their energies into stopping anything this president does, even writing posters with little fill-in-the-blank names for whoever the president decided to run with for the U.S. Supreme Court. All of it's backfired. All of this hysteria. And just like we'll see in Europe, they protested Reagan. They loved Obama. Obama was the apology president. Obama was the capitulator. Obama was the appeaser. Reagan was peace through strength, trust, and verify. And the same with Donald Trump. He's a little rocket man, and now he's saying to NATO, pay your fair share, win out the world's piggy bank. And then Donald Trump says, by the way, why are you being so stupid? Why are we paying all this money to defend against Russia, and you're giving Russia billions and billions of dollars? He's calling it as it is.
The conservative underground meets later today on the Sean Hannity Show.
What interest rate would you rather pay on your credit card debt? 17% or less than 6% APR? The answer is obvious, Lightstream. Because with Lightstream, you may be able to consolidate credit card debt and dramatically cut your interest rate to as low as 5.89% APR with AutoPay. Plus, radio listeners get an additional rate discount. Just go to lightstream.com/yes. With average interest rates on credit card debt at 17% APR, Lightstream could save you thousands in interest. And because Lightstream is a division of SunTrust Bank, one of the nation's largest and strongest financial institutions, you can have complete peace of mind. The application takes just minutes, and there are no fees and no pressure. Just lower rates, one low fixed monthly payment, and huge savings. So if you have good credit, apply today and get a special interest rate discount when you go to lightstream.com/yes. That's lightstream.com/yes. Lightstream.com/yes.
Subject to credit approval. Rate includes 0.5% autopay discount. Terms and conditions apply, and offers are subject to change without notice. Visit lightstream.com.
Still keeping an eye on that heavy backed up traffic on I-20 westbound near Hamilton Road due to a stalled bus. And we have some traffic delays on Texas Street in downtown Shreveport. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. It is going to be hot and humid today, and tomorrow we'll have sun, clouds, and some pop-up thunderstorms during the afternoon hours. The high 93 today and 96 tomorrow. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Maggie Johnson.
Breaking news and trending talk. This is 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. KEEL, Shreveport.
Yeah, that 8:40 segment just didn't go like I planned. 7:40.
7:40, I know.
See,
I know.
101.7 FM, 710 Keel, Robert and Erin, 3 past 8 o'clock. Local news, she's getting ready right now.
Big plans for the old Shreveport Country Club. We'll talk more about that. 2 men wounded in a shooting overnight in Shreveport. That's coming up. And teachers could get some good news in the form of money.
Okay, so United States Senator John Kennedy joins us in just about 10 minutes. Lots to talk about, including the SCOTUS nominee.
You bet.
And the Trump's trip to Europe, and Trump's trip to Europe.
Mm-hmm.
And Shreveport City Council emails. Couldn't have summed it up better. Fletcher in sports, traffic, and weather. It's all coming up this hour, and it's right here on Keel.
Miss Hiller?
Plans to spend $240 million on the project and predicts the development will create 1,200 temporary construction jobs and 200 permanent jobs. From 101.7 FM and 710 Keel, I'm Matt Parker.
Teachers in Louisiana could get some help paying for college classes. Education spokesperson Sydney Dunn says any certified teacher in the state can apply for the program, but there is a priority for particular applicants.
Teachers who teach courses in science, technology, engineering, and math as part of the state's larger push to enhance STEM education.
Dunn says only 7 seats are available for each of the next 3 semesters. Space is limited, but she hopes funding will increase so they can add more space. 11 men and women from Barksdale have returned home after being stationed in Guam. The Barksdale personnel have been overseas since just after Christmas. Barksdale's been providing staff to support a continuous bomber presence in that country. Things are heating up for the November mayoral election in Shreveport. All candidates must qualify for the race next Wednesday through Friday at the Caddo Clerk's office. So far, several candidates have publicly tossed their hat into the ring, including current Mayor Ollie Tyler, Stephen Jackson, Leo Savage, Adrian Perkins, Jim Talaferro, Ray Smith, Tremikius Dixon, Ken Kraft, and John Paul Young. Election Day is November 6th. More election news with the race for the governor's mansion just 15 months away. Allies of Governor John Bel Edwards are discussing the variables of the campaign trail. During an appearance of Talk Louisiana, chairman of the state's Democratic Party, Stephen Handwerk, says he believes things look favorable for the governor.
His approval numbers are incredibly high. I've often said Bobby Jindal would have loved to have had the numbers that this governor is posting, but it's because he's getting results.
Now, with the potential of Senator John Kennedy entering the race, many are saying that it could be a big problem for Edwards. A Shreveport man guilty of beating a woman, Marvin Dixon, convicted of battery. Dixon, who choked and beat the mother of his 3 children, faces up to 8 years in prison. An inmate at Caddo Correctional Center has died. Kevin Weldon found unresponsive by his cellmate after returning from court. Prison staff attempted to revive Weldon, but were not successful. Details beginning to emerge about a SWEPCO employee who passed away while on the job. A spokesperson for the company, Carrie Sullivan, says the longtime employee has been identified as 42-year-old William Tommy Lawrence.
He'd worked for SWEPCO for 22 years. He leaves behind a wife and 2 children.
Sullivan explains in an interview the details of the situation are scarce, but Lawrence was working alone at the time of his passing. President Trump has arrived at NATO headquarters, where he's attending a second day of meetings with leaders of the military alliance. A central New York man got a rude awakening when a large snake fell from his bedroom ceiling and landed on him while he slept. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. Hey, it's Erin McCarty. Let me tell you about CC's Coffee House. All kinds of great blends of coffee. Whatever you love. You want the caramel, mochiata, all that good stuff. But think about some of the extra stuff you'll find at CC's Coffee House. Moroccan mint tea. So refreshing. And I gotta get you to check out the delightful lemonade smoothie. It's made with real lemon juice. It's creamy and delicious and so refreshing on a hot afternoon on a summer day. You love our coffee. We love our guests. CC's Coffee House, 9488 Ellerby Road and 7435 Uri Drive.
10 past 8 o'clock, time for KEEL traffic. Ruben's here.
Still keeping a close eye on that heavy backed up traffic on I-20 westbound. A broken down bus has things backed up from Hamilton Road all the way to Industrial Drive right now. Divert to Highway 80 if you can. And we have some traffic delays on Barksdale Boulevard near McDade Street. If you have anything to report to us, call our Planet Fitness traffic hotline 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. It is going to be hot and humid today, and tomorrow we'll have sun, clouds, and some pop-up thunderstorms during the afternoon hours. The high 93 today and 96 tomorrow. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Maggie Johnson.
Without specifically getting to the emails, and we may in this segment, 1017 FM, 710 Keel, Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. I guess it all started off.
We should wait till 8:40.
Let's just back up a little bit, okay? Hold thine horses.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of feedback, what kind of response, texts, phone calls, emails, otherwise, did you get from folks regarding yesterday's show?
Oh, so many people thought yesterday's show was incredible. They loved every minute of it. And, you and I looked at each other yesterday morning and said, we spent 3 hours on the same thing.
It occurred to me, and I think I know that in 4+ years on Keel,
I don't think we have.
I don't think we've ever spent an entire program focused on a single topic, except for one or two small segments, to the degree that we did yesterday.
Unbelievable.
And it basically had to do with Tuesday's city council meeting and the mayor's explanation saying, yes, I do have a crime-fighting plan.
Right.
It's been in place for 2 years, and here are the facts. And she gave numbers, she gave statistics that say that crime in Shreveport is down.
Right.
Now, the problem you had with that, and you can expound on that a little bit if you want, is that to that point yesterday, Miss Ollie had never mentioned in previous questions about crime-fighting plan, she'd always said, we're working on a plan. We are getting together with the sheriff's department or the marshal's office or the state police.
Yeah.
We're formulating this sort of get-together. We're getting these confabs. We're having these conferences.
My people are meeting with the sheriff's people.
And then when asked about that at Tuesday's meeting by Councilman Willie Bradford, she doesn't make any reference to anything she's previously talked about.
Nothing about a new plan.
But talked about the 2-year plan that she says we've had in place.
The 2-year-old plan.
2-year-old plan
Yeah.
that's been in place and is meeting with success.
Mm-hmm. And that's where I have an issue. And I've told everybody that has texted me because they think I'm really beating up on the mayor. And I like Ollie Tyler. Genuinely like her. I think she's a good person at heart. She has no ill will intended. But I think she's taking some advice from some political hacks behind the scene on how to handle this. And if I were advising her on what to do, I would tell her, come out, you alone, stand in front of a microphone and say, we don't need the sheriff's help. You know what? The sheriff's a big boy. He's okay with that. He's fine with that. I'm a big girl. Citizens of Shreveport are big boys and girls. If you'd say we don't need the help, look at the numbers. The crime numbers are down. We had a little spike earlier this year. Yes, we did. But our officers are focusing on those neighborhoods, and crime numbers are down compared to last year. And move on. Don't start blowing smoke wherever you blow it. I don't know where you blow it anymore. About we're working on a plan with the sheriff and we're putting together a plan and the Cattle Commission didn't like the plan. And those were all things that came out of her mouth.
I got a text
And that's all nonsensical.
I got a text yesterday from someone I know who is not an elected official, not in city government, not connected in any way with the Tyler campaign, but a staunch Ollie Tyler fan.
Right.
A big re-elect Ollie Tyler backer. And the text said basically, guys are going to cost Miss Ollie the election. And I responded, thought about it for a couple of seconds, and I thought, well, my friend, yeah, that's a bit of an overstatement. And I texted back, wow, I've heard that before. And the text came back, really? Where? And I said, about a month ago, from somebody who was going to vote for Adrian Perkins.
Yeah, that we were going to cost Adrian the election.
So
you're going to hear that. We're going to be critical of anyone who wants to be or is in a leadership position.
So at Tuesday, this is where it gets awesome.
Oh boy!
At Tuesday's meeting, there was a little back and forth between Councilwoman Stephanie Lynch and Councilman Jerry Bowman.
Yeah.
And basically what happened was Miss Stephanie, in a very, prideful's not the right word, in a very proud way, says, I'm from the hood. I am from the hood. I've lived in the hood my entire life.
Right.
And Jerry took Is offense the right word? You watched
He
the
took
video.
issue with it.
What did he say?
He took issue with painting a broad brush over certain neighborhoods and calling them the hood.
In other words, he sees in it, as an African-American man, a negative connotation. And if you're going to say you're from the hood, what you're saying is that conjures up images that are not positive in people's minds. And you are saying that all your constituents, that all these good people that live in these neighborhoods are not good people.
Yeah.
And that did not sit well with him.
And you posted that conversation that we had yesterday about the hood.
The H word. Well, actually, the title of the post was "At the Council, : What is the H word and is it offensive?" That triggered
an email barrage.
An email back and forth.
You are not going to believe, and we got copied on it.
And you will want to hear that. It's coming up a little bit later this hour.
Can I be Stephanie this time?
No. I was an excellent Stephanie.
Yeah.
You were a superb Jerry.
All right, we'll do that again.
19 past 8 o'clock. Apologies. Mr. John Kennedy should be joining us in just seconds. Traffic update time. Right now, here's Ruben on KEEL.
If you're coming into Bossier or Shreveport on I-20 westbound, you may want to divert to Highway 80. A stalled bus has things backed up from Hamilton Road all the way to Industrial Drive right now. And we have some traffic delays on Shed Road near Swan Lake Road in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, call our Planet Fitness traffic hotline, 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. It is going to be hot and humid today, and tomorrow we'll have sun, clouds, and some pop-up thunderstorms during the afternoon hours. The high 93 today and 96 tomorrow. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Maggie Johnson.
Twenty-one past 8 o'clock, 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL Sports.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. Oakland scored 3 runs in the top of the first and never looked back in an 8-3 win over the Astros in Houston. Chris Davis had 3 RBI, and Chad Pender gassed a 3-run homer to power the A's. Former LSU Tiger Alex Bregman was named to the American League All-Star team earlier this week. On Wednesday, the Astros' third baseman was chosen to participate in the Home Run Derby the night before the Midsummer Classic. Boston ran their winning streak to 9 games with a 4-2 win in Fenway over the Rangers. Chris Sale fanned 12 and 7 shutout innings to pick up his 10th win. Bartolo Colon suffered the loss. Before the game, Boston Globe reporter Pete Abraham noted that the Red Sox coaching staff had logged more plate appearances against the 45-year-old Colon than the Red Sox players had racked up. Former Shreve Gator and Evangel Eagle Santos Ramirez will be one of 3 Arkansas players attending SEC Media Days next week in Atlanta. North Webster alum and LSU All-American linebacker Devin White will be among the Tiger contingent attending. And in the World Cup, Croatia, in extra time, dispatched England 2-1. Croatia, the second smallest country ever to play for the World Cup championship on Sunday when they face France. From the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
Hey there, Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty once again for Twin City Appliance online at twincityappliance.com.
Oh, sorry.
What was the little girl's name in The Exorcist? Reagan. Settle down there, Reagan. It's Linda Blair 3.0. You know, there's a reason that Twin City Appliance has been in business as the leading major appliance repair place in the Arklatex for, listen to me now, 34 years.
They can fix any appliance that's making a rickety old noise anytime.
If your refrigerator if your microwave, if your oven, if your dishwasher, if any of your major appliances appears to be possessed by Satan, don't hesitate to call Twin City Appliance. The phone number 318-688-0253 or online at twincityappliance.com. .107 FM, 710 Keel, 24 past 8 o'clock. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. And taking a few minutes, back here on Keel is United States Senator John Kennedy. Hey, Mr. John, welcome back. Thanks for taking time for us.
You bet, guys. Good morning.
You know, just when you think being a member of the Senate Judiciary Committee is, well, it's a pretty big deal, but now with the nomination to the Supreme Court of Brett Kavanaugh, it takes on even more importance. Tell us about what you know about Kavanaugh and how you will be, dare I say, leading the process of confirmation.
I like what I see with Judge Kavanaugh. I don't know him well yet. I sit on Judiciary, and it's our job to examine his qualifications. I intend to do my job. I've said I want the same thing for this Supreme Court position as I wanted for the one filled by Justice Gorsuch. I want a cross between Socrates and Dirty Harry. I want a person who's wise, who's open-minded, not afraid to test his assumptions against the arguments of his critics, but I also want somebody who has some self-awareness and has the courage of his convictions. I have lots of questions for Judge Kavanaugh, both about the law and his philosophy of the law. I'd like to know a little bit more about him personally. I'm looking for a judge. I'm not looking for an activist who's going to try to rewrite the Constitution every other Thursday. I want somebody who'll just follow the law and call the balls and strikes.
Pardon me just a second, Mr. John. History has proven, recent history has proven that you can be a little difficult on Trump judicial nominees. May I assume that this go-round will be no different?
Well, I prefer to think, I know some people call it difficult, and that's probably, from one point of view, a fair assessment. I call it doing my job. I mean, I want to know, let me say it again, I like what I see. I really like what I see. Clearly, Judge Kavanaugh has a brilliant legal mind. But I just want to be sure. This is the one of the most powerful, if not the most powerful, unelected positions. It's for life. In the most powerful, important country in the history of human history, America. And I want to get this one right. I think he's a good one. It looks like it, but I got to be sure. That's my job.
Have you met with him? I mean, I know he's been meeting with some senators. Have you been on that list?
I am on the list. He hasn't called yet to come by, but when he does, I'm looking forward to sitting down and talking to him. My understanding is that he's going to go see all 100 senators, with the possible exception of Senator McCain, who, of course, is back home.
What do you ask a man who's sitting with you, who's a nominee to be a Supreme Court justice? Pretend like Robert is him. What do you ask him?
Well, I'm in the process of reading his opinions. Now, he's written 300 opinions and dissents and concurrences. So I don't know. I'm going to try to get through all of them. He's written a number of law review articles, and I'll ask him some questions about what his philosophy of law is. I mean, how does he go if he has a case? How would he go about deciding it? How does he interpret the Constitution?
Do you ask him what is your opinion of abortion? I mean, do you go to specific issues?
No, under the canons of judicial ethics, Erin, a judge or prospective judge violates the ethics rules if he says or she says how they're going to vote in a particular case. And it's very inappropriate to say, you know, what's your feeling about abortion? How are you going to vote on the next abortion decision? Besides that, it shows a gross misunderstanding of the way the Supreme Court works. The Supreme Court does not vote on abstract issues. A case comes in front of it, and it decides the case on the basis of the law and the facts. Now, that doesn't mean that sometimes judges don't make policy in their interpretation of the law. But they're supposed to interpret the law, not just, you know, go out like a free-range chicken and start rewriting the Constitution. You know, I'm pretty fond of the Constitution. I think it's just fine the way it is.
Mr. John, have you to this point, have you spoken, give us a little look behind the curtain, have you spoken to other Judiciary Committee members, not only the Republicans, and what have you talked about with them, maybe the guys on the committee, the women who know him, but have any Democrats approached you and spoken to you about this nomination, and what have they said?
Yes. The Democrats are going to oppose Judge Kavanaugh, doesn't matter what he says, doesn't matter what they discover in the confirmation process. Now, some are more open-minded than others. But there have been a number of Democrats that before they've even met the guy or read a single one of his opinions just said, we're going to oppose him because he was nominated by President Trump. I disagree with that approach, but they're entitled to do it. Now, there are other Democrats that I think will give him a handful that I think will give him a chance, depending upon how he does in confirmation. There's some of my Republican colleagues that just said, look, out of the box, you know, out of the gate, I'm going to support the guy. But my job on judiciary, I'm going to say it again, I really like what I see, but my job is to just be sure, and I'm going to do my job.
When do those hearings begin? I love watching you on C-SPAN.
Oh, thanks. If all you do is watch C-SPAN, Erin, you need to get a life.
I know,
okay?
I have no life. I
don't have much of a life either.
when are the hearings beginning?
They're going to start. My guess is they'll start the third week of August, maybe sooner, but probably not, because throughout his career, Judge Kavanaugh, who worked at the White House, he's worked in the Justice Department. He's probably been touched, 10 million documents, and I'm sure the Democrats are going to demand copies of all of them, even if he didn't write them, if he just read them. That's going to take a while.
Are you going to look into that, because there are some comments saying he misled the Judiciary Committee with regard to documents on his involvement with the Bush administration. That's coming from the Republican naysayers, correct? I mean, Democratic naysayers.
I mean, you're going to hear there are going to be all kind of allegations made. Petty, they'll talk about his, everything. I mean, look. Just look at, I think any reasonable person would have to conclude, and I don't know Kavanaugh, but just what I see, the guy has a brilliant legal mind. Okay, it's not like he doesn't know what a semicolon is, and so they're going to have to, if they want to attack him for political reasons, they're going to have to get kind of petty. Now, that doesn't mean that there's not something in one of his opinions that I'm going to have questions about. I'm sure there will be. But I don't think you ought to be petty, no matter who nominates the person.
Mitch McConnell says it's all going to be wrapped up. Vote on the Senate floor before the midterm elections in November. You buying that? Is that legit?
That'll happen. Yeah, we're going to have a vote. That's what we were sent up here to do.
You know, you were talking a second ago, if you don't mind me changing the topic for a second. You had mentioned a couple of seconds ago, Erin, did the Democrat naysayers. Well, one of the things the Democrats right now are neighing about, and it seems to be one of the cornerstones of in their upcoming election campaigns in the fall, is the abolishing ICE, of getting rid of the law enforcement arm that protects our border. What the hell, John?
Well, when I first heard it, Robert, I thought it was a joke, but it's not a joke. If it is, it's a bad joke. I mean, it's not just the radical left. There's some mainstream Democrats.
John, just
Mayor
as
de
an aside,
Blasio
pardon
and-
me, are there any mainstream Democrats left?
Well, we can debate that, I guess. I mean, look, I respect other people's point of view, but on this one, I think Senator Gillibrand and Mayor de Blasio in New York are just wrong. I mean, they don't believe in having border laws. They just believe in saying anybody can come in. Now, that's pretty dangerous. I don't know any country that does it that way. Last year, we invited 1 million people of our world's neighbors to come to America legally, but we had 500,000 that jumped the queue, jumped the line. And ICE's job is to catch them. And ICE last year confiscated about 1 million pounds of drugs. They arrested 4,000 gang members. They made 130,000 arrests of people who came into our country illegally and committed a serious crime. And we're talking rape, kidnapping, assault. Some of the folks that come into our country, they're not just looking for a better way of life. They're not altar boys. They're terrorists and they're drug smugglers, and they are child pornographers, and they're into human smuggling and exploitation. Some of them are bad guys, and I don't know why, but I know this. I don't know why this is, but there's some people in this world, both in our country and in other countries, who they're not sick, they're not confused. It's not that their mama didn't love them enough. They're just bad people. And ICE's job is to catch them. And I'm appalled that these are heroes as far as I'm concerned. I mean, they're patriots. And it's a dangerous job. Assaults on ICE officers went up like 75% last year. And some of my Democratic colleagues are they're saying that we ought to abolish them. And I understand a bill's coming where these law enforcement officials should be subjected to an international court of justice. Give me a break.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just way too much. And I've got a resolution. I've got 20 co-authors so far. There'll be more joining it to saying, look, we support ICE. And if your approach to cops is they're all guilty until proven innocent, you're living in la-la land, man.
Yeah. Senator John Kennedy, thanks so much for your time this morning. We look forward to chatting soon.
Thanks, guys.
Mm-hmm.
And seeing you on C-SPAN. Erin,
I can't wait.
Thank you,
Wear
Mr.
a blue tie for me, please.
Thank you, Mr. John. 834, 1017 FM, 710 Keel. Here's Ruben.
That broken down bus on I-20 westbound still has things backed up from Hamilton Road all the way to Industrial Drive right now. Divert to Highway 80 if you can. And we have some traffic delays on Texas Street in downtown Shreveport. If you have anything to report to us, call our Planet Fitness traffic hotline, 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. It is going to be hot and humid today, and tomorrow we'll have sun, clouds, and some pop-up thunderstorms during the afternoon hours. The high 93 today and 96 tomorrow. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Maggie Johnson.
1017 FM and 710 Keel. Robert and Erin, 837. Amidst all the city council hubbub of this week, and we will get back on that in the next segment because there seems to be a little email tennis going on between Ms. Lynch and Mr. Bowman. We'll cover
tennis with razor blades.
Gee whiz, man. Or hand grenades.
Yeah.
You were approached earlier this week. We'll spend about a minute on this. You were approached earlier this week by a city official who said that not that we got something wrong in our discussion of the state's general obligation bonds and how after all the budget fighting and having a $10 billion or so general fund budget, the state of Louisiana still issues $300 million in bonds, in general obligation bonds, to pay for stuff.
Sure.
Like this big credit card. But what did they tell you that we were missing, or how were we off the mark?
I think their main point was you got to realize that Moody's and S&P, they don't look at the general public at all in making any kind of rating move for a state. It's all about their investors and what their investors are looking for. It has nothing to do with the general public or, the politics of the day. It all has to do with what is in the best interest of the people who would buy those bonds.
Sure.
Are those bonds marketable?
And the point we repeatedly made, the irony is after 2 years or so of fighting about the budget, that it really comes down to, at the end of it all, when, and I used him as an example, when Dr. Sean Wilson says, DOTD guy, he says, I need $600 million just to keep the roads up to, and then the DOTD turns around and borrows, issues in general obligation bonds, another $137 million to pay for stuff.
Yeah.
That is the point I'm making.
You bet.
I mean, it's like, what was the fight about? What is the budget really so important if you're going to turn around and borrow more stuff anyway?
I know.
839, 1017 FM, 710 Keel. Here's Ruben, traffic update right now.
If you're coming into Bossier or Shreveport on I-20 westbound, you may want to divert to Highway 80. A stalled bus has things backed up from Hamilton Road all the way to Industrial Drive right now. And we have some traffic delays on Shed Road near Swan Lake Road in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, call our Planet Fitness traffic hotline, 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. It is going to be hot and humid today, and tomorrow we'll have sun, clouds, and some pop-up thunderstorms during the afternoon hours. The high 93 today and 96 tomorrow. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Maggie Johnson.
1017 FM and 710 Keel, Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. So on Tuesday at the city council meeting, there was a little back and forth.
A tete-a-tete.
Would say heated in nature, the verbal back and forth between Councilwoman Lynch, Stephanie Lynch, and Councilman Jerry Bowman.
I would say Bowman was agitated is the word I would use.
And the origin, the genesis of his agitation, God, that sounds like our album cover.
Right.
Genesis of agitation. Miss Stephanie said, I'm from the hood. And she said it with a degree of pride.
Right.
As she is, look, if you understand Stephanie, you understand when she says, I'm from the hood, you understand what she means. But Mr. Jerry, he didn't take it that way.
Yeah, he found it a little bit offensive, I think.
Why?
He kind of, you're painting all neighborhoods with the same broad brush, and it's not accurate, and he just didn't like the use of the word hood.
Do you think Jerry, as an African-American, was telling Stephanie, an African-American, that you're guilty of sort of black-on-black insult?
Yeah, I think so. And then you posted the story, what is the H word, and is it offensive?
At the council is the title. At the council, what is the H word, and is it offensive?
And that article was shared with all city council members, and that sparked an email brawl.
We won't mention any names, but a link to that post at keelnews.com was sent to each and every Shreveport City Council person.
And then the responses I was copied on.
The first response came from Councilwoman Lynch. So I don't know for sure, but I'm assuming that she was the one that, in addition to all the council people getting these emails, that she was the one who added you to the mix. Ms. Lynch responds, Trump must not be interesting. This is her feedback. This is her constructive criticism on the H word post. Trump must not be interesting enough for y'all that you have to hang on every word I say. LOL. Jerry, shaking my head. Poor fella.
To which Jerry responded, Nah, Steffi, you continue to get me wrong. I'll continue to take care of G, my district, and you do what you do. Have a safe trip back to Baton Rouge.
Damn. So Stephanie responds, Jerry, I really don't know anyone who's gotten you wrong. When a person shows you who they are, believe them. Everybody pretty much knows who you are, what you are, and whose you are.
Wow.
I feel sorry that you have to carry that burden and confusion daily.
Yeah.
So,
to which
Jerry's turn.
Ha! I know what you're looking for, but again, I won't give it to you. It's not me the majority of the citizens are talking about. Again, you've won that award. I honestly think you're a smart, intelligent person, and I don't have anything against you personally, although you slip my name here and there, or saying I didn't or don't vote with certain things, but I guess that's just you being you. Don't feel sorry for me. Pray for me. And feel sorry for Oliver Jenkins, who has to sit next to you and endure. Glad I'm not him, but great for him for taking the high road. It was good you were able to attend yesterday. Tell Governor Edwards hello if you see him while you're back at home/work. Call me again if you need to. There's no need to email me. Have a great evening.
Guess what? Stephanie wasn't done.
No, she's not.
You're right. If I was a do-nothing person prostituting myself for favors and a job, nobody would have anything to say about me, and I'd be just like you.
Whoa!
I am smart and intelligent, which is why you should stay in your lane when I am speaking and maybe learn something.
Woo!
Oliver Jenkins is fine. He does not need you to attack me for him. But since you want to be his water boy so bad, I understand. I see you insist on perpetuating a lie about where I work and live, but being a pathological liar is definitely in your blood, so I understand. Oh, and Steffi, I like that. I may use it next council term. But for now, I'm going to keep my hood girl Shaniqua on deck for you and Oliver in the meantime.
Oh, boy. Okay, and this one, the final one, comes at like 1 o'clock in the morning.
For now.
Yeah. Nah, Steffi. You continue to get me wrong. I'll continue to take care of G. Wait, did I miss one? Hang on. Oh, no. Did I miss one?
Do nothing person. That's a good one. Have you got that one?
Where is it?
Okay.
You read it.
He responds, do nothing person. That's a good one. Laugh out loud. I expected and applaud you on that one. I really expected you to get on board with my employment, which is in Shreveport, sooner or later. I appreciate that, and thanks for reminding me of my bloodline. So you just summed it, and you up. The apple really does not fall far from the tree. Trust that I've learned from you a whole lot. That is, pathological is compulsive, habitual, or extreme in a way that's not normal, like the way you attend the meetings. Or not. I apologize if you feel I'm attacking you in some kind of way. That's definitely not the intention, and my comment about the hood was not an attack. It was just a comment. I'm assuming your trip back home was tiresome. Get some rest, and we can talk tomorrow or when you come back to visit.
Whoa!
I'm done with this, and I will stay in my lane. I'm hoping you do the same. Good night, and good luck.
Whoa.
There's
a chill in the air.
The previous radio theater starred Robert J. Wright as Stephanie Lynch and Erin McCarty as Councilman Jerry Bowman. Maybe there'll be another episode soon. 849, 1017 FM, 710 Keel. Here's, gee whiz. Gonna post that later?
Yeah, we need to.
Here's Ruben.
That broken down bus on I-20 westbound still has things backed up from Hamilton Road all the way to Industrial Drive right now. Divert to Highway 80 if you can. And we have some traffic delays on Texas Street in downtown Shreveport. If you have anything to report to us, call our Planet Fitness traffic hotline 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. It is going to be hot and humid today, and tomorrow we'll have sun, clouds, and some pop-up thunderstorms during the afternoon hours. The high 93 today and 96 tomorrow. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Maggie Johnson.
Ground Radio's Morning Minute.
There's a continuing saga in Shreveport and Caddo Parish. Will the sheriff help the police department? Does the police department even want their help? There's a plan for the help. There's not a plan for the help. Who knows what to believe about this anymore?
No, it seemed like a good idea, but look, good ideas don't have wings, and they just don't take off. Look, leadership is not for everyone. According to Fortune magazine, 70% of CEOs fail because they cannot execute. They don't get things done. They're indecisive. They don't follow through on their commitments. And yet, we seem to be electing these same type of folks to lead our communities year after year.
Success is not an accident. Plans don't just appear magically. It takes people to make it happen.
American Ground Radio, where building a better America begins with building a better us. Return each weeknight from 6 to 7 p.m. with Louis R. Avalone and Stephen Parr on 1017 FM and 710 Keel, and streaming live at keelnews.com.
What interest rate would you rather pay on your
If we hit it right now, do we have
I
time?
got one more email.
Do you?
One
What?
more email.
You're serious?
Damn it.
1017 FM 710 Keel, Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty.
What does this mean?
Wait. If this is one more email in our back and forth between Lynch and Bowman.
This is to me, I think. I think this is to me. No, it's actually to him, but I'm copied on it. You ready?
Is this is just in the last couple of minutes?
This came in at 7:30 or so. I'm just seeing my email. It says, from Stephanie Lynch to Jerry Bowman. Everybody's copied on it.
Oh, God.
It says, girl, bye. What does this mean? You have huck-a-bucked enough. Thanks, love you. What does that mean? You have
It's like him and Holland.
You have huck-a-bucked enough.
Why don't you Google that?
What's huck-a-buck mean?
Google huck-a-buck.
Huck-a-buck.
You got
Urban
time.
Dictionary.
Is
here
it
we
dirty?
come.
No.
Huck-a-buck.
One word.
Oh, it's one word?
Yeah.
Huck-a-buck.
Ghetto girl, Erin
Is this
McCarty.
dirty?
No.
You just asked that.
It's a song, the Huck-a-buck.
No.
Urban Dictionary. Hucklebuck. A little bit. I don't get it. I don't see it. Wait. When a girl writes. Oh, I can't say that word. No, that's dirty. Way dirty. Talks about a male anatomy.
Whoa.
Yeah.
No.
There's nothing on here I can say on the radio.
So huckabuck refers to the SCOTUS?
Sexual position where the female
We got to go. Back tomorrow morning, 6 till 9. Robert and Erin, 101.
Tell me what huckabuck means if it's not this nastiness you just sent me to.
I think Matt got it right the first time.
Oh.
If not, we're all done for.
Oh.
See you tomorrow morning, 6 o'clock, 6 till 9, 1017 FM, 710 Keel.
America's relationship with big tech defies logic. We blame big tech for the disappearance of our privacy, but every day we think nothing of giving them even more personal information. Kim Commando with your Thursday Consumer Tech Update, brought to you by FlexJobs. Find a better way to work with remote and flexible jobs at flexjobs.com. Here's how we tell big tech about ourselves. It just takes one simple Facebook like to tell the algorithms a lot about you. Once you like something, databases worldwide target endless ads your way based on that single like. For example, liking Lady Gaga will tag you as confident and outspoken. This group buys products with advertisements showing groups of people having fun together. But liking the Sci-Fi Channel tags you as shy and introverted. These people spend money based on ads showing people alone. These are just two examples out of the millions that are being used right now by social media. So think before you post, because the labels assigned to you stay with you for life. I'm Kim Commando. I have to tell you guys about my friends at Hello Tech. They are an amazing alternative to the Geek Squad. Hello Tech is a nationwide network of highly experienced, hand-selected, and background check technicians who come to you. You get to pick your exact appointment time. No more waiting around for the tech to arrive. Their experts are reliable, friendly, and patient. These guys do everything from TV mountings to computer repairs to smart home installations and more. Hello Tech has you covered. They even have unlimited support plans where you can reach out to them 24/7, 365 days a year. Just visit hellotech.com/Kim to automatically receive 50% off your entire order. That's hellotech.com/Kim. Or book by phone at 1-866-699-HELLO and reference Kim15. Hello Tech is committed to your complete satisfaction. If you're not 100% happy, they'll do whatever it takes to make it right. Book today and say goodbye, frustration. Hello Tech.
Leaders from the local community, the state, and the nation. We have them all.
This is Deputy Chief Bill Gooden with your Shreveport Police Department, and it is always my privilege to have an opportunity to talk to Robert and Erin in the morning. They do a tremendous job, and we appreciate their support.
We are Keel. 1017 FM and 710 Keel.
That broken down bus on I-20 westbound still has things backed up from Hamilton Road all the way to Industrial Drive right now. Divert to Highway 80 if you can. And we have some traffic delays on Texas Street in downtown Shreveport. If you have anything to report to us, call our Planet Fitness traffic hotline 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast will keep an eye out for a thunderstorm this afternoon. Otherwise, partly sunny, hot and humid. High of 93 and a few clouds tonight with a low of 76. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Maggie Johnson.
Breaking news and trending talk. This is 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. KEEL, Shreveport.